Hi, it's Deb from Deb's Days. It's Tutorial Tuesday, and today we're making a fringed fleece blanket. There's no sewing required and no need to tie knots for the fringe either. The measurements we're working with today are for a pet blanket, but the same technique will work with people as well. So stay tuned whether you're a pet lover or a people lover. Before I get started, I publish new content frequently, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And check out the blog at debsdays.com. You'll find an entire section dedicated to free sewing and crafting projects and links to even more sewing and crafting tutorials. Alright, let's get this project started. For this project, you'll need 2 pieces of fleece, each measuring 1 yard long. Since these are for pets, we're going to make them a bit smaller than the 1 yard piece. So our 2 yards, or 1 and 1, is actually going to get us 2 pet blankets. For this project, you'll also need a rotary cutter or a good pair of scissors and some painter's tape. Go ahead and take 1 piece of your fleece and lay it out, and we're going to cut it into 2 pieces. Since fleece runs about 60 inches wide, when you cut it in half, you'll wind up with pieces about 30 inches by 36 inches. Do that with both pieces of your fleece. Now we need to go ahead and trim off all these extra edges. This is where the printing is. Go ahead and cut off both sides. You can use some sturdy scissors, or I prefer using my rotary cutter and ruler to make that happen. Now we're going to want to place the fleece with the wrong sides together. Now the thing about fleece is you can sometimes tell which side's the right side and which side's the wrong side, and sometimes you just need to take your best guess. Now remember, these are for pets, so I don't think I'll have any kitty cats complaining about which side's facing out. Go ahead and line up all your edges and smooth it out as you go. You may find between cutting off those extra edges and cutting it in half, some of your edges might not line up. So go around and do one more quick trim if you need to before we get started on the fringe. For a pet blanket, I like to use a 3-inch or a 4-inch long fringe. Whatever length of fringe you decide, we're going to cut that size out of the corner of the blanket. Since I'm doing a 3-inch fringe on this one, I'm going to cut out a 3-inch corner. If you're doing a 5-inch fringe, you'd cut out a 5-inch corner. Do that for every corner of the blanket. Now grab that painter's tape. We're going to place it from one of the corners to the other corner to help create a straight line for us. We'll use that as our cut to line. Now you can use a sturdy pair of scissors again, but again I'm going with my rotary cutter. I'm going to cut my fringe about 1 inch wide. I'm doing this on my cutting mat, so I kind of have a guide down below, but you can always mark your tape instead so you know where to cut. And then I cut right up to that line. I don't like cutting into the line because I don't want the tape on my rotary cutter, so I back off it just a little bit. Make sure you're pressing hard enough or cutting hard enough to go through both layers, all the way to the end of the side. Now we're going to get prepped to hold the blanket together. Like I said, no knots involved in this one. What we're going to do instead is make little cuts up at the top of the fringe. Just a little bit of a cut, as you can see. You can also use your scissors for this. You'll just fold it over and do a little clip, and it creates the same kind of hole. And go all the way down the side. Now grab both layers of the fringe and place it into the hole and pull it on out. And do the same with the next one. Grab both layers, stick it in the hole, and pull it on out. Both layers, stick it in the hole, pull it on out. I like putting it through the top, through the hole to the bottom, but if you'd prefer going from the bottom and coming out the top, you can do that as well. Just gives it a different look. And keep sticking that fringe in those holes all the way down till the side is finished. Then turn your blanket, get your painter's tape down that side again, and make your fringe again. Make your little holes all the way down, and stick the end of the fringe into that hole all the way down. and continue around until all 4 sides are done. It's a quick and easy way to put together a nice blanket for a person or a pet. This one is kitty cat approved. If you'd like to see more projects like this one, head on over to the blog at debsdays.com. You'll find an entire section dedicated to free sewing and crafting projects and links to even more sewing and crafting tutorials. See you next time with another project.